Hello students, we'll look at solution now to number 2 multiple choice from the chapter 5 on logarithms. This is from page 140, right at the end of your booklet there. You should have already tried this equation, this multiple choice. So let's get to it. We're trying to simplify log of 3 to base 2, or log base 2 of 3, and see what that's equivalent to. Okay? Now, several ways you can tackle this. Okay, there is a rule in logs, and it's not studied a lot, but in some books. But if you have log to any base of some value, you can change that to log base 10 by doing the log of the value over the log of the base. Now, this is base 10. It's understood to be base 10. Remember, the log button on your calculator is understood. So when you have log of a number, say log of 100, it's understood to be base 10, right? The base is understood to be 10 if it's not written in. Okay, so basically this is a rule to change any base other than 10, so base b other than 10, to change it to base 10. Okay, now I could write base 10 in here if I wanted. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But remember, that's the same as the log of v over the log of 10 is the same thing, whether you write that in or not. So let's do it that way first. So if we change it to base 10, it'll be log of the value over the log of the base. And going over to our calculator, we can do the log of 3. And close your bracket. If you don't close your bracket, like if you do it this way, you're going to get a right divided by, so you haven't closed the bracket, so you have to close that bracket first, then hit divide by, so the log of 2 is separate. Okay, and let's see what we get. We get 1.585. 1.585. Right? Now you could then, well, you can see the answer, I'm sure, already. So I've brought it further to a decimal, but all they asked us to do is change it to what's equal to. So according to that rule, it would be equal to this one. So that's one way to tackle it. Now that we know the value 1.585, we could actually work out the value of each one and see if it matches. Okay? Now there is a base button on your calculator other than 10 if you got the new version of the software. So going back to the calculator, we didn't have to do it that way. We could have done it this way. Under math, if you scroll down to A, okay, which is log base, right? This now we can put in the base, so we don't have to use our log button. Now we're doing log base 2 of 3, and watch, no, scroll outside, watch what we get for the answer. Exact same answer. Okay, so log base 2 is of 3 is equal to 1.585. So then we could have double checked it by checking each decimal. 2 divided by 3 is 0.666 repeating, so that's not 1.585. 3 divided by 2, and you can check those on your calculator, is 1.5. The log of 2 over the log of 3, so let's go over to the calculator and do that one. The log of 2 divided by log of 3, okay, is 0.6309, say. Alright, and we know the value of this one, of course, is 1.585. So if we use this log to the base 2 of 3 button, and got 1.584 or 585 if I round it off, if we did that first rather than use the rule down here, don't use any of this, right? We did that first, then we know the decimal, and then just go to each one and calculate the decimal, and then when you match the decimals, this one matches to this one, you could circle D. So a couple of ways to tackle it, a couple of different thoughts, but the answer to number 2 is D.